Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment for Gifted Learners. Objectives for this presentation: gain a better understanding of the academic needs of gifted learners, understand the elements of differentiated curriculum, instruction, and assessment for gifted learners, and understand how higher-level critical thinking skills must be ubiquitous in the content, process, and product in the curriculum for gifted learners. Graphing me right now, differentiation. A best practice of a reflective practitioner is to self-assess our own practices and identify both areas of strength and areas for future goals. Visit the bit.ly link or scan the QR code below for a self-assessment that will help you identify areas of strength and goals for the future with differentiation in your classroom. You may also answer the reflection questions to help you reflect on your results. Pause the video now in order to complete the self-assessment. What is differentiation? According to Carol Ann Tomlinson of the University of Virginia, differentiation is an instructional approach to help teachers teach with individuals as well as content in mind. Differentiation really means trying to make sure that teaching and learning work for the full range of students, which really should be our goal as teachers. When we think of differentiation, we often think of the different ways that we can support struggling learners access grade-level curriculum in order to be successful. However, because there is a variation in skills and understanding, gifted learners also benefit from differentiation. Instruction for gifted learners. Good instruction for gifted learners requires rich experiences and relevant content. These students need a curriculum organized by key concepts or big ideas rather than by facts. They need content that is relevant to their lives and will allow them to process learning at a higher level. The products of learning of gifted learners should allow them to grapple with meaningful problems and give them opportunities to pose defensible solutions to these problems. Good instruction for gifted learners is also paced in response to their needs. Most gifted learners will often need a more rapid instructional pace than that of their peers. This is sometimes referred to as accelerated learning. However, in some circumstances, gifted learners will need a slower pace of instruction to allow for a deeper level of understanding. Gifted learners also often need learning that occurs at a higher degree of difficulty than that of their peers. This means that processes and products of their learning may need to be more multifaceted, abstract, open-ended, or complex to allow the level of challenge and critical thinking necessary to help them grow as learners. Finally, good instruction for gifted learners also includes some supported risk. Gifted students are often used to succeeding without the normal encounters with failure experienced by their peers. Therefore, when a teacher presents a high-challenge task, gifted learner may feel threatened. Teachers can support their gifted learners by coaching them through these experiences and help them to realize that growth often comes from learning from one's mistakes and failures. Inappropriate instruction for gifted learners asks them to do what they already know how to do. Valuable time for learning is lost when gifted learners quickly complete assignments for concepts they have already mastered, wasting time that could be spent on more advanced, challenging materials. More of the same types of assignments over and over can serve to kill motivation and interest. Instruction that cuts gifted learners loose from their teachers and their peers for long periods of time should also be avoided. Asking a gifted learner to work on advanced material or complete independent work in isolation ignores the child's need for affiliation, removes meaningful interaction with teachers and peers, and can impact the process of healthy social and emotional development. It is also not effective to assign the duty of peer tutor or junior teacher for substantial periods of time. All students should work together and work collaboratively. However, when a student spends too much time teaching material they have already mastered, they miss out on opportunities to advance as learners themselves. Finally, instruction for gifted learners should be consistent and not piecemeal or enrichment activities that happen here and there. We'll focus on 3 areas when discussing differentiation for gifted learners: content, product, and process. It is important that teachers of gifted learners have the in-depth training and knowledge of how to appropriately differentiate the learning experiences, specifically for those students with advanced learning needs. Research also shows that achievement gains are the greatest when gifted learners are grouped with other gifted students and provided with differentiated learning opportunities. The content may need to be both enriched and accelerated to meet the learning needs of gifted learners. This includes learning experiences that provide opportunities for students to interact with the curriculum at a deeper level, a pace that is faster than that of their peers, and potentially curriculum at a higher grade level. The process will be differentiated to accommodate the more rapid pace of learning and will lead students to focus on looking at information creatively and critically instead of just focusing on understanding the material. Gifted learners will also need opportunities to communicate their learning on a higher level of understanding. The products of their learning experiences should reflect an advanced understanding of the content applied in their writing, projects, and other assessments. The majority of gifted learners will be whole to part learners. This means that they will want to know the big concepts or themes first before considering the smaller components or examples of that theme. Differentiating the content for gifted learners often includes acceleration and often includes compression of content. Gifted learners can often handle a faster pace of instruction, which means they can learn more in a shorter period of time. Students also should be allowed to move on once they demonstrate mastery of a particular concept. With faster pace and acceleration of the content, gifted learners should have time for more in-depth focus and enrichment in the content while an in-depth critical analysis allows students to develop a deeper understanding. Oftentimes, grade level written materials are written at or below grade level. Gifted students may need text and vocabulary written at a higher grade level to provide a challenge and opportunity for growth. A differentiated curriculum for gifted learners also fosters creative expression in the products of learning, as well as an exploration of the areas of choice when the focus is on content rather than the process. Differentiating the content for gifted learners also means focusing on the big ideas or broader concepts in order to provide opportunities to go beyond simply learning the material. Focusing on broader concepts means more opportunities for deeper critical thinking and less time spent on repetition of content already mastered. The process of learning also looks different for gifted students. Different does not automatically translate to appropriate for gifted learners. The differentiated process in place should be student-centered, allow for student choice, encourage critical thinking and independent research, and allow time for gifted learners to work with their intellectual peers. Differentiating the process, questioning for gifted learners. Tips for questioning gifted learners. Don't accept the first answer. Encourage gifted students to elaborate and provide explanations. Encourage responses to the responses of others. Use Bloom's verbs to integrate higher order thinking skills. Many of your gifted learners will be introverts and will take time to think about exactly how they will respond. Wait time is extremely important to give these students enough opportunity to consider what they will say and to feel comfortable responding. Differentiating the products of learning should also allow students to communicate their advanced understanding in multiple formats to allow the demonstration of critical and creative thinking. Gifted students should also be given opportunities to communicate their understanding to real audiences, including their peers. Final thoughts. Avoid rage. Consistency in the differentiation of curriculum for gifted learners is key. Teachers everywhere are always encouraged to avoid rage, or random acts of gifted education, which are considered ineffective.